Bitcoin's been grinding back today as risk on has been the tone. King of crypto inching closer to 50,000. Let's bring in Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy, back on with us. Scott, we were looking at these levels, you and I, for some time. It turns out we were pretty spot on there, Scott, because as soon as we broke past that 56 area, 57, things just went straight to 48.
Yeah, it was like a vacuum. And it was, something, Oliver, that you and I talk about quite often, that when we see Bitcoin consolidate, when we see it coil for an extended period of time, as it has,
you got action coming.
Going up to that, we know a move is coming. Now, I thought that move was going to be the upside. We talked about it, but we did get that move, major move to the downside here. Call it a flash crash, call it whatever you want. It was really just a matter of complete risk off, right? Regardless of what the asset class was, crypto, bonds, whatever it was, equities, it was complete risk off. Now, one question that I would be asking, which I'm still kind of in limbo on, is if the equity market is rallying back and bonds are obviously catching a bid now, why isn't crypto so much? And yes, it is way off of that 42 number that we saw kind of on the flash, but why isn't it kind of testing where we were when all the other markets are not so far off from where they were?
Yeah, it's a little sleepy right now. I think a little bit of a shock as we had yet another fake out at the highs. When we left BTC at 65 back in the spring, it was on kind of a compressed version of what we just got, which was a breakout above a previous level and then just immediate rejection. Then the follow through after that period of consolidation to break down. Does that make it more important, Scott, that there was some equilibrium at 60 before we broke this way, to see that it couldn't hold that previous high? I mean, usually when Bitcoin hits a record, it's not long before it takes off. I haven't done the numbers on this one, but looking at the chart, very rare to see this type of pullback after setting a record.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And even without this weekend's price activity to the downside, it still couldn't grab its footing. It still couldn't catch back up to those levels. So yeah, you do have some concern. Bulls should have some concern here. Though I will tell you again, if you kind of look at the technicals here, they are defending this 200-day moving average, which we're down to in the 48 to 49 area.
Yeah.
Now, again, what happened over the weekend here, besides being a complete risk-off scenario across the board, you had major liquidations, Oliver, $2 billion of forced liquidations over the weekend from accounts that were buying Bitcoin on margin. And when, those firms were looking at how Bitcoin was tanking, they were forced liquidations, which probably precipitated and really heightened the flash crash, if you will, down to that 42 level. I expect us now to consolidate again for some time here, probably between 47 and 52. That should be, from a technical standpoint, the new consolidation range. And then we see, and then, if we get a move, we get a breakout, and it's not to the upside here, then I think Bitcoin bulls really have to take a look and say, we might be headed back to the mid-30s.
So, Scott, it looks like you want confirmation that it has the ability to get back to previous levels before you start trading it higher or trading it bullish. So what about on the short side? Is there something that we could see that would cause you to get short the asset at this point?
Yeah, I think if we make a run at 51.5 to 52 and it's there real briefly and doesn't hold, that's a big rejection. Because, we talked about that 55 level being big support, and then kind of under that, there was a little support at 52.5. If that now becomes resistance, that's a sign for definitely some short-term bearishness.
All right. There you go. Scott, always helpful. Thanks for what you're looking at. Understanding the chart, very important to BTC. Thanks for the stewardship, Mr. Bauer, along the way.